Welcome to Spain. Seems like I've brought Wales with me. The weather here in Girona is well, the people here have said they've not had rain like this in 2 years. So it's just like back home, or maybe it's even heavier than back home, more rain than back home. Yes, so here to do the Traka. It was the 560, it's now the 540. The route has been changed. It was so original route 560 k's, 10,000 meters of climbing, a couple of peaks over 2,000 meters. They shortened it, so it's now 540, 7,000 meters of climbing. Highest peak is 1,000 meters. Just again because of the weather, there's snow on the tops of the peaks. So the start was due to be tomorrow, which is Wednesday 1st, but they've postponed it 24 hours because there's some really heavy rain forecast again. So yeah, I've signed on, got my number, got my chip, but I'll have to find something else to do for a day. Luckily, my flight back isn't till Sunday, so I've got enough time still. And yeah, be queuing up on the start line in 2 days' time. So another update, we've just found out that the 560, first it was shortened, now it's been cancelled. So the weather's too bad, or forecast is too bad. Thunderstorms forecast, and they don't want riders out in that. So we've had a few options. We can either get a refund or do the 360, which starts a day later. So I'll just do that. Luckily, travel should still be fine. It does change quite a lot though. I came out for a longer event and a different type of event. The 360 is more of a mass start race rather than an individual time trial. The 560 you weren't allowed to draft. Also expecting to take a lot less kit. So some of the stuff that I had brought and was expecting to be using. So this was a saddlebag I was going to use. So I wasn't planning on sleeping, but I was going to carry an emergency bivvy, like a foil bivvy, so won't need that. This is a really nice Castelli insulated gilet, so won't need that. Nice waterproof, forecast is good. I'll keep checking it. I will take that if the forecast is bad. Micro gilet, arm warmers, don't need those. Won't need that. Tiny little cap, won't take that. Arm warmers, might use those. 1 set of gloves, 2 set of gloves, 3 sets of gloves. So I would have taken 3 because when your hands get cold, it's one of the first things that stop working. So now if it's hot, I'll just take those 1. And I was going to also take 3 different types of shoe covers. Keeping your feet warm is quite important. These are just like really basic shoe covers, so I don't need those. If it was forecast as it was, really heavy rain, these are they just sort of keep the water off. So there's those, and toe covers, just cheap basic toe covers, so I don't need those. So quite a different race, so I'll just have it's just going to be basic road kit. Yeah, forecast is mild-ish, I think 15 to 20 degrees and dry. So I'm going to head out today. It starts tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to head out today, just do a little ride. I might do the start of it and just see how it is, and if my plan is it's going to, for kit and things, it's going to be alright. I don't have much choice on the bike. I might just keep the aero bars on that I've got, but we'll go out for a ride and see what it's like. So I'm just on the outskirts of Girona. This is, I think, what's going to be the start tomorrow. It's a beautiful start. Now that the sun's out, probably not going to see much of this because it's going to be dark, and it's also going to be rapid tomorrow at the start, I think, from what I've seen videos of the previous years. So I thought I'll come out, grab some footage of maybe what it would look like. So the start was long, fully on tarmac, from the top straight into a fast downhill, probably the best, most fun downhill of the whole race. Really twisty, lots of plenty of places to overtake, and from there then we went into some more muddy sections. There was one section which was just full of muddy puddles, and then overall a decent amount of time to overtake people.
I was stunning, but it's a brutal start as I was expecting. So now 60 k's in, first time I've had a chance to get a camera out. And first climb was brutal. I was nowhere near the front. Made some places back up downhill. Now we're on the flat. 60 k's in. It's flat until 100 and another 50 k, so 110. Doesn't suit me at all. And I'm on my own. I was in a group, but struggling on the flats. But I think a lot of people have gone off way too hard. We'll see. Making time up when it's muddy as well. When it's muddy and when it's tough downhill. Let's see how it goes. So 120 k's in, just past the first feed, and this is where just past the sign, this is where the Traka really starts. So, first big climb, well, after the first time, so second big climb. Try and take it steady, it's a long way to go, third of the way through. So this is tough, for sure. That view. So, nearly 140 k's. This hilly section ends around 160 maybe. Look at that. Beautiful. One recommendation, bring easy gears. That was a beast of a climb. I didn't have easy enough gears. You need mountain bike gears if you can put them on, or a double. This probably doesn't look steep. This feels nearly vertical. One of those where you take a few steps, have a rest. I just passed the water station, so 160 k's, and the next 100 kilometers are flat. So you can imagine how much I'm looking forward to that. But, yeah, hopefully I can find a few people to ride with. That's what I've got to look forward to. 100 k's, no idea what the terrain's going to be like. I'm guessing like what we've had, quite rough, not fast, as in not just straight and simple. But yes, this is going to be for me, it's probably going to be the toughest bit. So as expected, it's pretty miserable for me. It's also a headwind. I've been about 10 of the 100 on my own. A few people have passed me, some bigger guys. It's quite twisty. So whenever you're into like a crosswind, I just can't keep a wheel. I just haven't got that power. Otherwise, I'm feeling fine. I'm just too small. So yeah, another 90 k's of this before the undulating stuff starts again. I'll be really glad to get to that, because well, yeah, it's lovely. Just think positive. I've just ticked over 200 Ks, which means I've got 50k left on the flat. I've only seen one person in the last 40k. I have got a group coming up behind me now though, so I'm really crossing everything that I can hold on to them when they catch up.
Wird's besser oder? Ja, muss ein bisschen nicht.
So now 250k. So that's the feed station, most of the flat over. Managed to stay in the group till there. But left on my own. But it's going to start getting hilly. I've been warned about the big hill that's coming. That's the top. That was tough. Although I had enough gel, so prepared for it. I think it's a long downhill. Straight into a downhill. So nearly at 300 Ks now, so that'll be a really nice milestone. And sun, probably maybe got an hour left of the sun up, so the lights are going to have to come on. I'm not sure exactly what the finish section is like now, the last 45-ish K. Hopefully not too bad, and hopefully not a headwind. Yet again, I'm on my own. So I broke one of the spokes in the back wheel fairly early on. I think it was a rock strike, and now broken another one. So I've got to be a little bit careful. Hopefully it's not too technical now. There's quite a wobble in the back wheel. Just got to try and nurse it back. 30 Ks to go. From bad to worse. Now I've got a puncture. So here we are, it's finished. Had an absolute nightmare at the end. So I had the puncture and I couldn't find where it was leaking from. Ended up stopping multiple times. Used 2 CO2 carts, pumping it. In the end I had to put a tube in. Probably lost almost an hour. So not the best of endings, but yeah, finished. Now I'm going to go back and I'll probably have a bit of a rundown tomorrow after I've got everything sorted. So it's the day after, time to reflect. We've got the 200-kilometer distance riders finishing from that one today, happening today. And from me yesterday, I think first of all I'm just pleased that I was able to finish. It would have been very easy for me to have stopped. There were multiple points where I didn't feel like carrying on, times when I had issues, times when I wasn't feeling great. So I'm pleased that I just kept myself going. I had multiple problems, both with my stomach and with the bike. Just some punctures at the end, almost all of them at the end, which is frustrating. The 360, I've got to say, wow, it was crazy. The pace at the start was flat out, and then just the whole way through you were chasing groups, trying to do your best to stick in groups. If you couldn't stick in a group, you were dropped, and it was just really tough. Not what I was expecting.
Although I guess looking at the profile, it does suit the bigger riders, or well, the riders who can output more power, I'll say, because there's quite a lot of flat sections. Yes, there are some climbing, but if you've got the power, you can hop on a wheel on the flats, then you do all right. From me, yeah, glad I finished, and yeah, if I can take some things from this now, my next thing is probably going to be Pan-Celtic race. I've got to sort out a few things before that because I'm not in a shape to do well for that. I knew I wasn't in my best form for this yesterday, which is fine, you know. I was expecting that. So Pan-Celtic race, 2,400 kilometers, bike packing, self-supported. So that's yeah, very, very different to this yesterday. So for me, if anyone who wants to do this, my tips for what I would suggest: first of all, bring little gears. If you're using SRAM, you need a mullet. I was over geared. I think I had a rotor with a 44 and Explore, just not enough small gears. They're much steeper climbs than back in UK. If you're running SRAM, if you're running Shimano and you've got the option of double, I would take that. Yeah, it's just some really steep climbs. Also tyres, wide tyres, minimum 45. Anyone who says that you can get away with 40 and that 40 is the best, they haven't used 45mm tyres. You don't need anything particularly durable, although I was saying that I did have a puncture, but it's mostly smooth rocks. It is rocky, and yeah, bring some wide volume tyres. Otherwise, eat, drink constantly. The feed stations are good, but you need to make sure that you're well fueled and well hydrated and have a plan for that. Good luck to anyone doing it, and hopefully they'll run the 560 again in the future, because I think that would be a completely different beast.